Welcome back, YouTube friends and fans. Today we're going to discuss part 2 of Wild Bill Jones. I pretty much discussed everything on that video of the song, but what we're going to go over today is some of the bluesy notes and the bluesier side of bluegrass. And those important notes include notes of the blues scale, which include the flatted third, the flatted fifth, and the flatted seventh. And I don't want you to really worry about too much about scales and all that. Once again, we're trying to establish a melody first. We want to establish a melody, and then we can focus on our little other notes. So this time, I'm going to remember to zoom in, and we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. And so we're going to start at the key of G, and for Wild Bill Jones, the very first note is well, with the D, but the other one, that is your flatted seventh. If you play a G7, it's an F note. Well, right here is an F note. And you'll remember the last video that I talked about using the first and the third fret for these two strings and the bottom two strings here, the E, a B, and then the A and E. Well, this is an F note. That is, once again, the flatted seventh. Okay, so that makes it really bluesy. If you was to make it major, it would be the note before that, which would be an E, which is more of a major sound. It's kind of like Unclouded Day type style stuff. And so we have that. And also we have, so that's the flatted seventh. So once again, we can use it up here. This is a good little note. So for within these two frets here, like I talked about. So we can go from the seventh to that E note, which is once again the sixth note, which you don't even need to care about the sixth note. Just focus on the flatted seventh for now. What I'm trying to get you to realize is that you can play to those notes and try to focus on those notes being heard more than everything else. Another good one is you've probably heard, the thing I do here. Tony Rice does that a lot, and one other you can do is and if you're familiar with the other ones, and I taught this one on the backtracking video, which you can find by searching for it on my channel. Just go to backtracking or backtrack, and it should pop right up. But the other one is this one. So we're emphasizing that seventh note now. Because for one thing, we're accenting it with a louder stroke. And the other three are really low. So that is up, down, up, down, up, down. And you're going to leave the finger up once you hit this until you hit that B string twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then go back. It's kind of a tricky thing because you always want to go, but that's not the way it goes. So that's your flatted seventh. Okay, so another one is the flatted, let's see, let's go. That is your flatted third. Going from the major to the, or your minor third, going from the minor to the major third is a really good sound. So you're going from the minor third to the major third, which determines whether a chord is minor or major. The third is the most important note for that. We have a G major, we have a G minor, because of that third being moved around. Okay, so that's a really good little minor third note there, and that's an A sharp. So if we took and went A sharp, there's your minor third. So we got the 7th and the flatted third there. So back and forth, we're going to try to kind of emphasize that note a little bit more than the rest of them. Okay, so let's see if there are any more flatted thirds. We haven't. Let's see, that's an A sharp there. So we can sit there and mess around with that note and try to accent that and let that one stand out. And that is box 1 of the minor pentatonic shape for G, which on the last video I showed you that. It is the 3rd and 6th strings, 6th frets of the last 2 strings, and then the 5th 3rd fret of the G string. And you can use that open. So we've got this third and this third, both in the same area of that scale. And the cool thing is, you've got the little minor major third thing happening here. Okay? So it's minor. If you raise it by a half step, it's major. Same thing, if you lower it half a step, it's minor for the third. Well, we can do it there. We can do it there when we get to the end. That's a good little thing you can mess around with. Tony Rice does that a lot. And that's just me noodling around right there. You can do the same thing. So you got 2 thirds emphasized there. 2 instances of the thirds. Major, minor, major, minor, major. Flatted 7th, back to the root. Now the other thing is the flatted 5th. If you're playing this G, which most bluegrass people know, the flatted 5th, the 5th is right here where your ring finger is on the B string, the 3rd fret. If you flatten it, it now becomes a flatted 5th and sounds very, very sinister. Well, that is the note we used for this little lick. So now, where we were emphasizing the flatted 7th here, by hitting it stronger and the other one's lower, we can do the same thing with the flatted 5th here and hit it stronger. Okay, and that also happens here. That happens here at the pulling off from the 9th to the 8th fret, and then our pinky goes down here to the 11th fret of the B string. Once again, it's up, down, up, down, up, down. Now there's another place we can use that, and that is right, let's see. Now this is the top half or the bottom half, like once again, depending on your view of it, of the pentatonic scale, and it is also the 1st and 6th frets, and then the remaining 3 strings after that are all 1st and 5th frets. So we have a whole plus a half shape, whole plus half step, and then 3 whole steps, which is 2 frets. But anyway, right there, flatted 5th is most commonly known as the blues note. And so it's going to be from the 4th to the 3rd A string, pulling off, pinky down here on the 6th string, or it is the 6th string, the 6th fret of the E string. Okay. and that was it's the same shape, and that's a little easier. The flatted fifth is also located if you're in the pentatonic here, right here, a half step up. Okay, so you could, this is one of the most versatile ones for the key of G apparently, because you can do it here. One we just did, you can do the same shape, move it up here to this G, the G string, from the 6th to the 4th fret, 6th to the 5th, back here on the 8th fret of the D string. Move it up here. And if you've seen my octaves lesson on octaves, you'll notice that this all starts on an octave of the first note here. Here's the note. Here's the note. Here's the note. It's the same shape in every octave. And I'm not going to go over that. You just have to look up my octaves video on that. So also the other place we can use is right here. Remember we said that the first couple strings here is the 1st and the 3rd frets, right? Well, here is one note above that is your flatted fifth. That's a good one to stay on. Okay, so we have that. And that's one thing that Tony Rice does a lot when he does this. You know, he can either do it there. He usually does it there, but I like it better up here. Because then you can slide to a position. All that kind of hurts your hands. But anyway, there you have the basics. And I know it sounds kind of hard, but those are just some notes that you can not really have to worry about focusing on, in the sense that, oh, where's it at, where's it at, where's that. But once you know where they're at, like in the key of G, flatted 7, G7. Flatted fifths are in diminished chords a lot, which I won't go over because those are a whole subject all their own. But there's the flatted fifth there. And if you're in G, just remember, that's the flatted fifth. You know that lick, then you're already playing the flatted fifth. This is the flatted third. So you kind of got both of them there. Then you can go minor, major, third. Okay, and then you can do the minor, major, third here. Then the flatted fifth. Major, minor, third. Flatted seventh. So basically anything you're playing in bluegrass that has pretty much any bluesy sound, you're hitting one of those notes, maybe all of them. And the point I wanted to get across was, in bluegrass, take advantage of those bluesy notes, because they are a good bluesy, bluegrassy sound. I mean, they sound amazing, you know. I'll just go over the Wild Bill Jones one more time and you can kind of hear me play some of those. Okay, so that is the lesson for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe by either clicking on the link above, which should be there, or clicking on the video that's going to pop up here in just a few seconds, if it hasn't already. Also, check out my totally free guitar newsletter that's over here on my right, your left. You can click that and it will take you to the YouTube video about the free newsletter, which you can get chock full of information about free video lessons just like this one. And it's mainly for electric guitar, so if you're If you've seen all my acoustic stuff and you want to venture on into the electric guitar realm, check it out. Tell your friends, please subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video. Thank you very much.